Hello everyone and welcome back to Kinlaig with Artemus. We are starting today in front of the fish breeding. And as you can see, we have a few crates of fish ready to go, which need to be delivered on to where they will be continue to be raised until they are ready to be sold. So I have 3 crates of the trout and a couple of crates of the salmon. And as you can see, they are still going strong in here. We'll continue on. So we're going to let this run for today. And while we take care of our other jobs, it seems to be nice and secure. So we can leave it out here. We will let this run. And then when we have completed our jobs for the day, we are going to be taking these to an offshore platform, which is exciting. We have a few jobs around the farm today, and the first one is doing some spraying, as our fields are littered with weeds, and we need to buy a sprayer. We're going to be trying something new today, which is spraying the herbicide and fertilizing at the same time. So we will hopefully have our fields fertilized as well. So we're taking the Unimog down to the store, and then we're going to be picking up a new sprayer for us. And then we'll be taking that back to the farm, and we'll be using our small JCB to do the spraying today. Here we have the Kinlaig sprayer and front expansion tank. Now that is going to be vital for our mixing of the herbicide and fertilizer. And as we have the front weight on the mog, you could just toss it on the back platform. And very handy to have. So we'll be taking this back to the farm. Now we're going to be loading some silage for our cattle before we can move on to spraying. We can go ahead and store our sprayer there while we take care of the cattle. I think we'll park up in this bay, and then we can pull out in the perfect position once Artemus has arrived. Well, we expected to use a bit more silage. So we have this 7,000 odd liters left over. So no second trip. So I'll try to see about getting this back in the bunk, so that it's not taking up our trailer space. So we'll leave the silage here for now. And we'll get the trailer detached. Now we're on to the spraying. Now we'll be taking a bit closer look at the system of using both herbicide and fertilizer, and getting rid of the weeds while applying some fertilizer. So for the spraying, we're gonna need our JCB here. So we're gonna go ahead and get the front loader detached again. It has a nice spot in the shed here. And with the weight dropped off as well, we can go ahead and pick up our sprayer. So we decided to go with the 18-meter model, as we're not sure how much we're going to use of herbicide and fertilizer. So having the slowed rate compared to the 24-meter or 28-meter is going to let us keep better track. The idea is with the two separate tanks, we're going to have herbicide in one and the fertilizer in the other. And then as we are spraying, they're going to mix together and cover the crops evenly. So the herbicide will take out the weeds and the fertilizer will go down to our plants. So let's go ahead and fill up. So we have our liquid fertilizer and herbicide. So next off, we are going to need to swap the JSP to the narrow tires. There we go, narrows are equipped. So we're going to start with our onion field. Now we're going to be moving down the line. Now we are swapping with Artemus around halfway. So we're going to be doing half and half. So we'll get going here, and I will see you when we're all done. As our field sprayed with herbicide and fertilizer. So we take a look at our onion field here. You can see that the weeds are gone and it is indeed 100% fertilized. So this field is all good to go. And the same goes for our other fields. Now we're not sure if they actually had the weeds in them. Our canola field definitely should have, but our maize field was plowed before we got it planted, so it shouldn't have had many weeds in, if any. But we have the herbicide on there, so we should have no trouble for any weeds. But next up we are gonna get our grass field mowed, as it is fully grown again. We are in the Unimog here, so we are gonna be doing the windrowing in our merger, and Artemus is hopping in a tractor to do the mowing. And there he is, mowers at the ready. We'll fire up our Unimog and follow along to the grass field. Now he will have to get a couple of passes done before we can start with the swathing. And then it is on to the foraging. So I will see you when this grass business is all done. There we go, that's our grass field all collected up. Now we need to just get this final load into our bunker silo. Now we are gonna be leaving it uncovered for now. And we'll see if we cover it next time or if we leave it open in case we wanna get the next cut in as well. We're not in a hurry to ferment this as we have quite a bit left for our cattle in the other bunk. So the best course of action would probably be to leave this open. This was the last job around the farm, doing some farming. So next up we are going to be looking into some fish work. And we have the offshore platform, but we also want to have a little pond by our farm here. So we'll be building such pond. We'll be bringing a bit of trout back to it. Now we will be bringing the rest with our Unimog down to the pier and loading up our boat to take to the offshore platform. So we have a bit of space out in this area. So we'll go ahead and find a nice spot for our pond. And here we have it, our trout pond. So on this little hillside next to our old camper. So we will be bringing back some trout to release into this lake. And the rest will go onto the offshore platform. So next up we need to head down to the young fish breeding and pick up some fish. Yeah, the box is loaded up, and so we're going to be bringing 6,000 young salmon and 4,000 young trout to the offshore platform, and then we'll be bringing another 4,000 young trout back to our farm for our new lake. So we're starting with the offshore platform as that is closer, and then we can head back to the farm. We're here by the offshore platform. Now we just need to get these unloaded, and Artemus is manning the crane. Looks like we are drifting a bit, so I'll have to go a bit closer. There we go. All the boxes unloaded. We are keeping these two for the pond back home. We can take a look at this platform. So this is where we put the boxes. And this is where the adult fish appear when they are ready to be sold. So we have these two massive nets essentially out back here, where the fish are swimming along till they are big and strong and ready to be sold. Now we have two of these massive containers. So they'll be swimming happily here until they are ready to be sold. This will essentially run itself, so we can head back with our remaining fish. There we go. Back on dry land. Still quite hadn't found our sea legs, but I'm sure it will come with time. We have made it to our little lake. They had 2 thread boxes. So we can go ahead and get those released. There we go. The trout have been released, although they look to be awfully shy. Can't see any of them. But no matter. They should be having a grand old time in this little lake here. But that is all for today. So if you enjoyed today's episode, drop a like down below. Leave a comment if you have any tips, tricks, or suggestions. Make sure to check out Artemus' channel, link down in the description, along with the Highland fishing expansion with my partner code. And while you're down there, make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss the next episode.